हेलो। हाँ रोहन, बोल। क्या प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर बनना है? ओके। अचानक से क्या हुआ? ठीक है। कोर्सेज तो बहुत सारे हैं। अपग्रेड, पीएम स्कूल, यह काफ़ी अच्छा फीडबैक है। आई हैव हर्ड दिस कोर्स इज़ वर्थ टेकिंग फ्रॉम कपल ऑफ माई peers. This is a 6 to 8 months program, and what good thing is it teach you from the basics to the advanced concept along with many good case studies. They also connect you to the mentors from various good product companies, so you exactly know how does a product manager work. Uh, at the end of the course, you are also provided a certification in association with Duke. Not sure of the pricing, but मेरे लिंक से करना sign up, तेरे को अच्छा खासा डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा. Keep me posted. So I was just guiding one of the aspiring candidates. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sugat Nayak and I'm a product manager at PayPal. UpGrad is very well known for its entire courses, and coincidentally this video is about the product management interview experience at UpGrad. I'm very happy because today one of my friend from SPJMR has recently cracked all the rounds of UpGrad, and he is joining as a product manager over there. So keep watching the video till end because Vikram will also be sharing what are the current openings across UpGrad, and you guys can feel free to reach him out and to understand how the entire referral process and the interview process works. So let's get started. Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the another episode of Product Management Interview Experience. And today we have Bikramjit with us, who has recently cracked all the rounds of UpGrad. Welcome, Vikram.
Hey, hi Sugat. Thank you so much for having me on this particular interview of yours.
Perfect. Thanks. So, Vikram, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the entire audience?
So, hey everyone. I have around 7 years of experience building as well as developing both B2B as well as B2C products. So, currently, I work as a founding team member and product manager at Propogo. So, it's an early stage drone tech startup trying to explore avenues in the insurtech space for drone ecosystem in India. And I mostly cater to the acquisition and activation partner across various product lines of Propogo. And prior to this, I was working for Verizon, wherein I was exploring B2B digital transformation solution for their e-commerce platform as well as service management platform for the B2B clients. So yeah, that's about it.
Great. So, first of all, congratulations on converting the entire interview process and cracking and getting into UpGrad. So, why don't you share your journey of starting from your preparation days to your entire interview experience at UpGrad?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sugat. So this was like, I mean, the entire process at Upgrade took almost 3 to 4 weeks to complete. So at this point of time, we all know that the tech industry has seen a huge uptick during the COVID times. And when I came across this opportunity, the product opportunity at Upgrade, so it was no brainer for me. So after almost working for almost 1.5 years at Propogo, which is an early stage startup, so I was looking to take up opportunities when I could solve customer problems at scale. And I felt that this was kind of, I mean, fits in pretty well with what I wanted to do at this point of time in my career. So I'd like to take you through the entire process. There were a total of 4 rounds, and most of these were product rounds. So I'll give the details about each and every round to start off with. So the initial introduction was with the HR, wherein she explained me the opportunity and what exactly they were looking for. And I also gave them a brief about my profile. And eventually she set up an exploratory and a product round call with the senior product manager at Upgrade. So round one was basically with one of the senior product manager at Upgrade. It started off with introduction and work experience. So I took him through what I was doing at this point of time at Topogo. He discussed a few things about quite a few projects that I have done at Propogo and how did I mean, kickstart those process right from the inception stage to the implementation phase. Eventually, these were followed by two product questions. The first was a product improvement question. So I was asked that how do I improve engagement of a learning app, learning social media application. Eventually, I took the entire process, and eventually I was asked to cater to different trade-offs across the various stakeholders and how I would actually resolve those. So that I mean, it should not be a mismatch. While I increase engagement, I mean, all the relevant stakeholders should also, I mean, be aligned equally. The next question was a product design question. So it was slightly different because while we expect I mean, the interviewer to ask us questions on digital products, it was a physical product that was asked upon. So I was asked that how do I design a bookshelf for children? So I was forced to think beyond my comfort zone, and I believe I mean it went smooth. Wrapped it up with a few delighters as well as suggestions. So the round two was basically again, I mean, it was with the director of product management at UpGrad. So these which kickstarted the discussion with introduction and work experiences. He asked me about what sort of he asked me a few behavioral questions, as in a failure scenario, a situation when what I had started off did not work out the way I wanted, and how did I overcome it. So explain him everything in detail. So there were a lot of follow-up questions on the same. It was followed by a guesstimate question, wherein I was asked to identify that what would be the number of ATMs in India. Once this was done, it was followed by a product design question. So I was asked to improve the user experience of a mobility company. So he gave me a use case that was already provided to me, and based on that particular use case, I had to think through different solutions that would enhance the existing user experience of that particular mobility company. That was about round two. The third round was again with another director of product management. We started off with the general introduction and work experience. He asked me that why did I choose to work in a niche field like drone tech, and it was more about that what made me choose the career opportunities, trying to understand that how EdTech might fit in. So there are a lot of follow-up questions that I moved from telecommunication, where I'm in at Verizon, and then I moved to Topogo, and then eventually I'm applying for UpGrad. So he tried to figure out that what are the skill sets that I've acquired that will make me excel at my role at UpGrad. So this was followed by a product design or problem solving question. So he asked me that how would I basically design a table reservation system for a food tech company. So it was slightly different. I went through the entire process, but the emphasis was a lot on identifying different use cases and not just sticking to a particular use case and running through different pain points for a particular use case. So that was a different thing. And he also asked me to do a low fidelity wireframe for one of the proposed solutions that I had offered. This was about the three programs that I had at UpGrad. It was different because usually we tend to have single product questions, but most of this round had two or more product questions. Eventually, post this, I received I received an email from the HR stating that I had cracked the product round at UpGrad, and eventually I was supposed to be interviewing with another senior product manager at UpGrad. So this was more towards a behavioral round. So it started off, the round four was a behavioral round with senior product manager at UpGrad. So she introduced me and we discussed about the work experience. It was more of a get to know discussion to check team fitment, etc. My understanding of UpGrad, what UpGrad does and how does it differentiate itself. So she tried to gauge whether I had done my homework. I had done enough research on what UpGrad does or not. Eventually, she expanded, dived deeper into the different product lines at UpGrad. Seeing my interest, so it was really insightful because usually what happens is you are given a product line, and eventually, I mean, we need to stick to it. But it was more welcoming because they wanted to see that what sort of product would excite me in the long run, so that I mean, it increases my engagement when when I decide to join UpGrad. So there are a lot of behavioral questions. A few of them, like tell me about a conflict situation that you had with one of the stakeholders. Which set of stakeholders, like from among design, engineering, etc., do I like working the most, and why? What sort of product I like doing? I mean, I like building or solving for. So these were the few behavioral questions that were asked. So all of these four interviews took a span of around 2.5 weeks, and that's, I believe, I mean, the entire product interview at UpGrad. Yeah, over to Sugat.
Great, Vikram. I think this cannot be as detailed as you've already explained. I think thanks a lot. Just to summarize, I think it was pretty extensive interview process at UpGrad, consisting of 4 different rounds over a span of 2.5 weeks, and also followed by, like, we were just on various questions starting from product design, guesstimates. So congratulations again, Vikram.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Moving on to the next question, Vikram. I think what are some do's and don'ts a candidate should keep in mind when appearing for any product interview?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. So there are 2 or 3 things that comes to my mind. I believe it's very important to go through each and everything that you have written in your resume. That's the utmost important thing, I would say, because people tend to write a lot of jargons and use a lot of jargons, and then eventually don't end up realizing that what they've written and explaining it very well. Secondly, it's very important to ask a relevant question. How, I mean, insignificant it might look like, without taking a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, as soon as you hear the question, I mean, you should definitely ask relevant questions without reaching to the exact solution. And third would be that you should pause and think through before answering any question whenever you are asked anything. The last and final thing would be that how do you work closely with the interviewer so that he or she is engaged. So it's a very disconnected experience at this point of time when everything is happening virtually. So keeping the interviewer engaged is also equally important, I believe. And that's something, I mean, we tend to miss out on if we don't keep them, I mean, involved. So these are the 3 to 4 things I believe that anyone should keep in mind when they sit for an interview, product interview.
Thanks, Vikram. Okay, yeah. So coming to the next question, how a candidate, an aspiring candidate, get into a product role at UpGrad?
Yeah, so I believe it would be an extension of what I already explained. I believe all of this is, I mean, aligned towards how I mean, confident you are while you speak. I mean, while you approach problem-solving questions. I believe one thing that these people look at is first principle thinking. So rather than, I mean, just solving a question, it's more towards the approach because that has been emphasized quite a lot of times by the interviewers. And I feel the interviewers were really kind enough to guide me wherever, I mean, if I was maneuvering in a wrong direction, they were definitely, I mean, very kind enough to step in and tell me that, okay, I mean, is there something else that I can do or I can think through? So I believe it was all about that, how you, I mean, structure your answers or structure your solutions and what you say. And eventually it's just an extension of what I already mentioned in the last question.
Great. Thanks, Vikram. Okay, so before we wind up the session, Vikram, do you any last piece of advice for all the aspiring product managers who are currently watching this video?
Yeah. So one thing that I would like to mention is that one should take the interviews very seriously and prepare well before starting the interview process, because I believe you don't get too many opportunities. There are a lot of people, experienced folks in this product management domain, and unless you are prepared well, you are going to be losing out on great opportunities. And something that I also missed out on in the initial rounds of a few companies, but later on I emphasized on it, and I believe the mocks, try to give as many mocks as possible, because it's very difficult to simulate real life interview experience. But the more number of questions, or I mean, the more number of hours you put in before the real D-Day, I believe that will make you confident and tackle scenarios on the ground, on the move.
Great. Thanks, Vikram. It was pretty good talking to you and knowing your entire journey, and especially the entire interview process at UpGrad. And I really hope all the viewers who are currently watching this will also get help to know about the interview process at UpGrad. And we wish you all the best, Vikram, for all your upcoming challenges.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sugat.
Thank you.